Hey folks, it's Doug with ITK Culinary. It's Thanksgiving time. Time to roast a turkey. Now, if you haven't roasted hundreds of turkeys, you might be wondering, how do I get that turkey skin nice and crispy? I'm gonna show you. First, I got this turkey, it's been defrosted. If you haven't gotten your turkey yet, really think about getting it already. Moving it over to the cutting board. All right, now the tip and trick with this is to separate the skin from the flesh. In order to do that, you need to really kind of get underneath the skin and separate it out. That's why I have the gloves. If you take a look, I can get my fingers in there and really kind of get there to separate the skin. But here's the tip. Use the right tool. This spoon fits neatly underneath the skin, and if I just push it underneath, it separates the skin very nicely without having to stick your whole hand in there, right? See? I'll do it from the other side so that you can see. What happens is that when you separate the skin from the flesh, it creates a little bit of air, and the fat from the skin actually starts frying it, and it gets a lot crisper than if you didn't separate the skin. So if you see right now, I'm just kind of pushing that spoon back and forth and separating the skin. Now I can even get down into the drumstick, right? And I'll get it in there. And that separation of skin will make it nice and crispy. If I want to do it super crispy, I'll actually dry it out for a day before I roast it. So here again, I'm getting the spoon, getting it in here. And don't forget the back portion of it too. So if you like the thigh, drumstick, absolutely beautiful to get the skin separated. On the back side, it may be a little bit difficult to get underneath. So I'm using the back of the spoon just to kind of start things off a little bit. And then I can flip it back around. All right, there we go. Now, the cool thing is that once I have that skin separated, I can put whatever I want underneath it for flavoring. Whether it's garlic powder, whether it's rosemary, whether it's bay leaf, everything can go underneath that skin. See how beautifully separated that is? And this is really gonna ensure that my turkey is gonna be nice and crispy, and it's gonna be absolutely gorgeous. Now, if I really want this evenly golden brown, one of the tips that I have is to use paprika and just rub it all over the turkey. And this paprika has this fantastic smoky flavor to it. It's gonna give it a beautiful hue. And I'm gonna do underneath as well. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll get a herb and rub mixture with some butter. And after I get the skin separated like this, I'll put the butter underneath the skin. And what that does is it does two things. Number one, it helps seal the meat, the flesh itself. And then it adds as a barrier between the skin and the flesh. And that ends up really giving you a nice crunchy skin. All right, so that's my Thanksgiving tip. We're gonna be doing this as well as other things in our upcoming class. You've been served.